approximately 80 seconds. That's how long the average person can now focus on a task without getting distracted. Just over a minute. That's less time than it takes to brush your teeth, microwave popcorn, or wait for TikTok to load on bad Wi-Fi. And it's not just our attention spans. Our expectations are changing too. We expect food in 10 minutes, news in 10 words, results in 10 steps or less. We're moving from yesterday's patience to tomorrow's pressure. And in that shift, something important is being lost. The ability to trust the process. And the process doesn't need a grand event or a crisis to reveal itself. Sometimes all it takes is a bowl of sugar. Ali Zain, stop eating so much ice cream. It's not good for you. That's what my mom used to tell me. And like every other kid, I'd shrug, laugh, and say, it's just a little dessert. What's the harm? To me, ice cream wasn't just a dessert. It was comfort, happiness, and the highlight of many summer afternoons. A scoop of chocolate, a drizzle of caramel, and life felt perfect. But one day, my mom decided that words weren't enough. She wanted me to see what she saw. Do you know how much sugar is in here? She asked, and before I could dismiss her question with a careless wave, she grabbed the bowl from the kitchen. With deliberate precision, she began pouring spoonfuls of sugar into it. 1, 2, 3. The pile began to grow. 4, 5, 6. It kept growing, each spoonful more unsettling than the last. By the time she was done, the sugar mound had eclipsed the size of the ice cream itself. I was stunned. For the first time, I wasn't just looking at ice cream. I was looking at what it was made of. The sugar wasn't new. It had always been there. But now, I couldn't unsee it. This wasn't the sweet, innocent treat I thought it was. It was something else entirely. Something hidden behind layers of creamy goodness. And that moment didn't only change how I saw dessert. It quietly rewired how I saw progress. My mom wasn't just showing me sugar. She was showing me that small, overlooked actions added up over time can shape outcomes we don't even see coming. And that's the part we forget in today's world. We chase speed, shortcuts, and instant results. But maybe tomorrow's thinking isn't about moving faster. It's about seeing deeper. Seeing the ingredients behind the outcome, the sugar beneath the scoop, the process behind the progress. I didn't realize it then, but I learned that lesson again. Fast forward a few years to my first table tennis practice. I was holding a paddle that felt far too big for my hands. Standing in a sports club that suddenly felt too loud and overwhelming. Around me, kids were effortlessly smashing balls across the table. Their movements sharp and confident. Meanwhile, I could barely make contact with the ball. Every shot I tried seemed to veer off in the wrong direction. Or worse, miss entirely. At first, nothing seemed to change. But over time, without even realizing it, I started to get better. The shots that once felt impossible began to feel natural. The ball that used to fly off the paddle now moved exactly where I wanted it to. I didn't notice it happening in the moment, but looking back, I saw the transformation. I didn't see the progress in the moment, but that's the point. Real growth is subtle, often invisible. And if tomorrow's thinking means anything, it's learning to trust what we can't always track. And science agrees. Psychologist Anders Ericsson found that mastery in any field requires 10,000 hours of practice. But it's built in quiet, persistent moments. Michael Jordan, for example, stayed long on the court after others had left, refining his skills through deliberate effort. And these small, unseen actions, the missed shots, the extra drills, are what ultimately create greatness. And it's not just individuals. Some of the world's most successful organizations are built on the same idea. Slow, steady, daily progress. Toyota, one of the most respected car manufacturers in the whole world, honed its reputation not on flashy innovation, but on a philosophy called Kaizen, the practice of continuous improvement through daily actions. On their factory floors, workers were trained to pause the entire production line if they noticed any inefficiencies. One fix at a time. Moving a tool closer, adjusting a sequence, they made over 1 million improvement suggestions every single year. And nearly all were implemented. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't fast, but those tiny changes added up. Not just to better cars, but to a culture of long-term excellence. Like teaspoons of sugar, each adjustment was barely noticeable on its own. But together, they reshaped the company. In a world obsessed with acceleration, the things that truly last aren't built by rushing forward. They're built by slowing down, by returning to what's small, steady, and easy to overlook. So what does tomorrow's thinking really look like? It looks like dessert, deceptively sweet, until you see what it's made of. It looks like a table tennis paddle, clumsy at first, until it fits in your hand. It looks like a factory floor, routine, repetitive, until you realize it's a repetition that creates excellence. Because real progress doesn't explode. It accumulates, it adjusts, it endures. We keep asking, how can I get there faster? But maybe the better question is that, can I stay patient when progress is invisible? Think back to the sugar. The teaspoons piling up in that bowl seemed small at first. But together, they created something undeniable. Something impossible to ignore. The work that we do is no different. Every late night effort, every quiet choice, every moment when you decide to keep going, even though no one is watching. These are the teaspoons of effort that build the life that you are creating. At first, they might seem insignificant. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture, you see it. You see that they're shaping everything. Everything. Every teaspoon matters. Thank you.